And we're live! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Saber Dice. Thank you guys for joining us. My name is Cody, and with me we have an incredible cast here today. We have Dave Friant with Nerdarchy. We have Jim Davis and Jonathan Pruitt of WebDM. And of course, we have our D&D sex icon behind the DM screen tonight, Will Jones from EncounterR5. Without further ado, Jonathan Pruitt.
Hello, friends, and welcome to Saber Dice. Let's talk about some sponsors, because they're the ones that make the show happen. First off, we have ThinkGeek. They have all the things that geeks need. So why don't you head on over there since Christmas is coming up and get that thing that your geek needs. Also, we have Fantasy Grounds. It is the virtual tabletop that we have been using, and it is quite delectable. You should give it a taste. Also, there is Dungeon Painter Studios that will be providing the maps that Will has created here that will be used in our virtual tabletop. Also, and last but not least, is Shapeways, the go-to destination for 3D printed dice and miniatures for your D&D or other RPG game. And without further ado, our D&D sex icon, Will Jones.
I want you to speak like that for the rest of the episode, and you'll get advantage if you do. Yes,
I will do it.
Good, for glory. As we like to say here. Well, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Save or Dice Glory. Let's remind ourselves what happened last time, real quick, because it was a doozy. The party found themselves in a bit of a dire scenario at a dinner party, which turned awry when there was an assassination attempt from Mr. Fletcher upon it turned out to be Ajax's son. Now, Ajax's son, Eddard, the Black Hound, as he was known, they managed to save him from an initial attack from a bunch of crossbowmen, a kind of red wedding the whole scenario, and escaping downstairs into the cellar, pursued by the elf Vin, who had been in disguise as the head of the household, Fletcher. The party were pursued and pretty well bloodied. For Ajax, he watched his son Eddard basically barrel through a door, and a force field went up, magical force field. They tried to bust their way through. Calium managed to mist-walk his way through there. However, it was only just enough, because when he got through, Needles was there as well, and she managed to take him down. At the same time, she managed to kill Eddard, Ajax's son, who Ajax flew into a rage, back down the corridor, and in one of the most epic moments so far in the campaign, managed to hold against a tide of enemies, basically, with Wyrme shooting away with his Thunderbolt cannon alongside as support. However, when they managed to clear the room and the soldiers had fled, the would-be assassins, they found that Ajax's son, Eddard, he was dead, and Calium and Needles were nowhere to be seen. Upon their escape, they managed to follow them up to the top of a tower, where they teleported out along with Calium's body, and Ajax and the group managed to teleport back to meet with Curtis Wine, the leader of the Order of the Chalice, a group of assassins who worked their way out of Castle Rock. And we're going to begin today's scenario with our good friend, Calium. Mm-hmm. So, Calium, as you might see on this map here.
You'll have to reshare that for me, bud.
I shall do that. Well, you maybe don't want to see it, because when you do, you will realize that there is a fun old torture chamber. Let me know when you see that, or if I need to do more sharing things. You got to. As you have found yourself in a room with Needles, the teenage girl, really, who has a ton. Can't look at you, Jim. Can't look at you, Jim. A ton of torture equipment out in the room. Calium, you see around you these bone saws, these hammers, these instruments of pain as you are stripped down. You're still wearing your like basic clothing, but you don't have any of your items or your weapons, and you can't access your magic. I can't look at Jim Davis. His face is getting me. But you can't access your. Thank you. You can't access your magic. Makes it easier with the bag on head. And Calium, Needles has walked in. She's a redhead. She carries with her these instruments of death as well. These long, sharp needles, which she pushes into the eyes and heads, basically, of her victims, who she pretty ruthlessly kills. You know her to be insane at the best of times, unhinged all the time. And she has said that we're about to have some fun, Calium. So, why don't you start by telling me exactly what it is that you've been up to?
That won't be a problem.
Good, good. She starts tracing the needle down your feet, scraping enough to draw blood, but not enough to, like really push in and cause a lot of pain.
What is it that you want to know?
Well, exactly who it is you're all working with, and what your aims are, I suppose.
My aims have always been the same. To seek out and destroy the 100. That's the truth.
Really? Good, good. Well, that's nice. That's nice. She begins to press the needle into the ball of your foot and just starts kind of pressing that home. So tell me about Curtis Wine and your relationship there.
He's a vampire.
He's a what?
He's a vampire. But of course you know this, don't you?
Yes, I was just wondering if you did, I suppose. So, what has he been making you do? What's he been telling you?
He's promised me the 100.
The 100? In what manner, shape, or form?
The same way Adarian did.
She starts eating some pumpkin seeds out of her pouch. I see. She starts moving further up the leg with the needle to about where your kneecap is. And begins to like threaten to push in there next. Okay, and by what means does he promise this to you?
We're going to go hunting.
Now that's something I like a lot. Yes. Hunting. So, you and your little friends have been up with Curtis Wine, trying to kill all of the 100. Well, that's a crime, isn't it, murder? You can't just kill people. You said they kill like 50 people.
Yeah? And are you going to do something about it?
She looks to the needle, looks to your knee, looks back to you. She shrugs. I guess I am, yeah. Because you're now mine. You belong to me. Isn't that funny?
For how long?
I don't know. I imagine that I've got quite a long while to live. How long would you say that you have to live?
If I were a betting man, I'd say not long. But that's okay. I'm already dead.
Yes, already dead. Now, there was something interesting about that I remembered. Something about your family. Now tell me about that.
You don't know anything about them.
No, I don't. I'd love to learn, though. So why don't you tell me, else I'll press this needle into your kneecap and it'll really hurt.
What do you want to know? How much my daughter loved to play in the fields? Or the smell of sulfur when I returned and it was all burned to the ground?
Let's focus on the sulfur for now, shall we?
It was gone. She was gone. Saria gone. And it's all due to the 100. Falkreath? If you let me live, I will cut out the tongues and the hearts of every 100 remaining.
My dear, that is interesting. You have a lot of pent-up anger in that little body of yours. Dear me. Perhaps we should let some of it out. And she presses the needle into the kneecap, which just like wrenches inside, and you can feel the metal on bone as it goes right in there. Ah, isn't that better? Well, fascinating. Falkreath, you say?
Do you know where he is? Would you give a dead man one more chance?
Ooh, that's interesting. We could play a game. A game of chance.
Games of chance are for fools.
Or dead men.
What's your offer?
How about this? I would like, and she starts thinking, to hurt you a great deal before I kill you. But she smiles to herself. Yes. That makes a lot of sense. You're one of those magic users too. You tried to get through my little wall there. How about this? I'll just set you loose in this place, and we'll see how far you get.
Deal.
I hoped you would say that. She gets 2 needles, stabs them into your kneecaps, and just like pinces them in there, which is excruciatingly painful, of course.
He screams.
She then goes to one of the tables. She picks up one of the mallets. This is quite heavy. Never mind, should do. She walks over towards you. The intent is clear. Well, you agreed. Your rules. And just into the right leg, which is enough to send you reeling and almost pass out from the pain. And another boom to hammer it home right into that leg. You don't need it anyway, you mistwalk. Although I guess no, you can't at the moment. Into the other leg, and then as well, until you pass out. Then we're going to cut back to our other friends who have arrived via teleportation to Curtis Wine's establishment deep below the castle of Castle Rock. A group of you have had a brief conversation with Mr. Wine, the 7-foot-tall, friendly, vampire, who has thus far helped the party. He says, well, we best see about getting your friend back then. Although, I'm not too sure how well that's going to go. Who's this? And he looks to Ajax, your son, Eddard.
Yeah, Ajax lays at her down on the floor and just gets right up in Curtis's grill. Uncomfortably close, given that Curtis is a vampire.
Yeah, all right, mate, calm down.
Bring him back.
Bring who back, mate?
My son. Bring him back. Make him one of you.
Ajax.
He shoots Vadin a look.
Does it even work that way?
Is this someone I should know?
He was murdered by that needle-wielding, crazed little girl.
Yeah, she's fucking crazy. This man is dead. Ajax.
Are you not a vampire capable of powerful blood magic? Turn him into one of your kind.
Well, here's the thing. We work on live subjects. To bring him back from the dead, well, that's an act of necromancy. I do know a spell, but it's not pretty. And it's not like he's going to come back whole.
Ajax doesn't know anything about spells. What price, then, is the spell? What does it cost?
Well, first of all, it's gonna cost most of his soul, I think. And I don't know if his memories would be there. Or if he'd be the same person that you remember.
Ajax throws a chair and just screams. He uses his other rage for the day and just like breaks some furniture.
Curtis says, "I'm sorry. It's the way things are."
Then me. Make me one of you.
What? What do you mean? Why?
He like rips off the throat guard of his armor and is just like, it's the only way. Give us your power. Let us have some of it so that we can accomplish our task. I'm already a dead man. Make me one of you.
Curtis looks to Wyrme and Vadin.
Wyrme will kind of slink towards Ajax, start like pawing at his calves. It's almost animal like, no, not this way. Your son would not want this. It's bad.
Not now, Wyrme.
It's bad.
It is a dark path, Ajax.
We will get them.
I'm afraid that our power is not enough. We must have something more than magic, something more than skill at arms.
We already lost Calium. We do not need to lose you as well.
You won't lose me.
Leave us.
I'm already lost to this world. Make me one of you, Curtis.
There's a sadness in his eyes and says, "I don't know if you want this. Truly, Ajax. This is a curse as well as a gift, and it saddens me to see you in pain, but this won't bring back your son."
Ajax considers it for a second before just like silently turning and picking up Eddard, and he's going to go find a place to bury his son.
When things have calmed down, speak with me again.
I will.
So you carry the body outside into the castle courtyard. Outside, most of the land is swampy and marshy, but there is a nearby hill, which is the safest place to bury someone. It's the strongest earth around.
Okay. Yeah, he'll grab a spade from the wherever and head out towards the hill.
Curtis will turn to Wyrme and Vadin and say, Your friend, I think he needs you.
What are we gonna do, Vadin? We already lost Calium. We cannot lose Ajax too. His son was a fool.
You and I know that his son was a fool, but you know Ajax. You
Yes.
fought beside him for a long time. When he has made up his mind, have you been able to change it?
Mind? No, there's nothing we can do, but we have to stop him somehow. We already lost Calium. We've lost enough.
Well, I do not believe that Calium is completely lost.
Calium is dead. Needles.
Oh, I'm not sure she'll kill him straight away.
Well, if she took him, I doubt that she killed him right away. She probably has some use, whether it be information or some form of magic. We do not know.
That one is not right in the head. She plays with her food.
Well, let us hope that she plays for a while before finishing him off. As
Elvadine,
terrible as that is to say.
Elvadine, you said you saw the ritual circle from which she teleported from.
That
You
I
should
did.
have. You should have the memory to teach that to me, and I could send you back there.
Very well. What is needed?
He kind of looks back up as Ajax is leaving and says, well, Ajax is left at this point. He says, just show me the signs, write them down. I'll need a while to set them out, so kind of motions back up to Ajax.
Very well. And I'll go inside and find some parchment and scrabble out all the different runes from the circle.
While they're doing that, I'll go to Ajax and find him.
Mm-hmm. Ajax, where did I find you?
You find him trudging up the hill. He's got the spade probably just slung on a belt strap somewhere, and is carrying his son sort of in his arms outstretched. And he's marching towards the nearest like dry ground that's suitable for burial, and muttering something under his breath.
So Wyrme will meet Ajax up on the hill, and he'll pull his spade out of his bag of holding.
Mm-hmm.
We're friends. We did together. Your pains is my pains.
Aren't we friends, Wyrme? I thought you were just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Always bad luck. Well, we fought and bled together.
We have. You're right.
We still need you, Ajax. They think Calium's still alive. I say he's dead. But they're planning to get him. We can't do it without you.
I'm not strong enough to fight these people by myself, Wyrme. We tried. We failed at Howlister. We failed just now. We need something more.
This time we'll fight them on our terms. It'll be better.
I assume if I was fighting them on my own terms, I should have all the power that I can grasp for myself.
But the price, you belong to the vampires. You do not trust them.
We cannot trust anyone. We all serve a master, Wyrme. Why not the vampires? They live in secret, opulent castles and in luxury for centuries. How long? And no one has ever discovered them, rooted them out. Why not them? Better them than the mages with their magic and their schemes.
What about the people? I thought you believed in the peoples.
I did.
Are you ready to abandon them?
I'm afraid that I'm no good to them, and that the only thing I have left is my vengeance.
Well, then take your vengeance, but take it on your own terms. Do not be a pawn or a puppet.
He seems to just like make Ajax more, I don't know. He's got that quiet angry right now. He's really digging that hole.
Yeah. Elverdeen can arrive as well, and by the time that he's arrived, the hole is deep enough to bury Eddard in.
Ajax will take all his armor and everything else off and like wipe him down, and just as best as possible make him look presentable. Ajax never been a very religious man, but he appears to be uttering prayers to all the boogeymen and swamp hags and all the little stories of grumpkins and snarks that he's heard as a kid, just to whoever's listening to hear his pain and help him. And then he lowers Eddard into the grave.
Yeah. He lies body down in the cold ground and begin to fill up the hole with dirt. And after a few minutes later of doing that, there is now, freshly laid dirt where you have buried him.
Yeah. I'll find a suitable rock or something as a grave marker. And then Ajax is probably going to stay the night there.
All right. Elverdeen and Wyrme, what would you guys do? You realize that Ajax probably isn't leaving.
I will make a fire close by to where Ajax takes up his position, and I'll just sit there quietly.
And Elverdeen stands like a pillar, unmoving, until Ajax is ready to leave.
In the, probably like an hour and a half after you guys have got up there, Curtis will appear, and he does that Batman thing where he just appears, right? And he stands solemnly over the grave and says, "No father should have to bury his son. I have performed the ritual, Elverdeen, the teleportation circle to where I believe Calium is being kept is now open."
Turn and look at my compatriots. Well, do we want to lose another today? What say you, Wyrme, Ajax?
I think this is a terrible plan, but I will help. I think Calium is already dead, but we should go get our own.
I mean, physically, Ajax is looking pretty rough. He's wounded, suffering a level of exhaustion.
Right.
So, I mean, he does not look up for a fight, but he stands up nonetheless. We should go soon if we need to.
You could have taken a short rest during this time of contemplation.
Well, at the very least,
Yeah.
use some of my hit dice.
Curtis will say, just keep in mind, the effort continues whilst you three here are alive. And while Calium is gone, it does not continue if you are all gone. But he's your friend. The circle is there if you wish to use it. It will last until the end of the night.
What say you, Ajax?
Looks around. I suppose we shouldn't waste the opportunity. And the longer it takes for us to get to Calium, the worse it will be for him.
I agree. I have but a fraction of my power, but I'm willing to spend it so that we do not lose more this day. This war has already taken so much from us all.
All right. Well, I suppose it's now or never then. And he just like, he never takes his eyes off Curtis the entire time.
Yeah.
Wyrme will hang back a little bit with Curtis and let those two go ahead.
Yeah. He'll stay standing on the top of the hill and looks mournfully down at the freshly dug grave.
So Wyrme will kind of like paw at his arm and his forearm. Perhaps you should grant Ajax's request and bring back his whelp.
It's a funny thing, Death. Something I haven't ever had a chance to understand properly. But I know this much, Wyrme. If I were to bring back his boy, I don't know if it would help him at all.
So Wyrme cocks his head and looks up with him with a cold reptilian look in his eyes. The humans, they see their whelps differently than others. It's not for his whelp. It's for him. He must see what's at risk. Let his whelp take the dark path and spare Ajax.
I understand.
Lesson.
Fine. Fine.
And, then Wyrme will just slink off after the other two.
He watches you go. And the three of you come to the teleportation circle. And it is lit and open there before you. And as you enter into that dark hall again, the table with the bronze crown on it, we're going to cut back to Calium, who is just about waking up. Calium, you awaken. Groggily at first, and your vision is blurred, and there are little spots of blackness within your vision at the moment. You look down as you are still on the table, however, you are no longer strapped to the table, and there are no bonds on you anymore. However, your knees and your kneecaps have been nailed into the table, so that you are connected to the table via the almost a skewer which has gone through and been hammered into the bone, which is clearly shattered the kneecap there. So even if you were to be able to stand, you're not sure if you'd be able to walk or get anywhere on them. However, you do sense your magic is returning to you as the fogginess is no longer clouding your mind as presently as it was. There is one other small detail which is of concern to you, Calium. There are fresh stitches across your belly in a circle. So, like so. Fresh stitches.
How evenly is this circle? Pretty evenly, or just kind of just like an area?
The circle is pretty well stitched up, pretty circular, yeah. It doesn't look like someone's done this in a particular hurry, although it doesn't look like necessarily they were a trained surgeon.
Okay. I want to mistwalk one time out of the table so that my kneecaps are no longer pinned to the table.
Yeah. As you disappear from the table and reappear, you're seeing as you're in the same position, you're now on the ground, on the floor. All around you are the mallets and hammers and bone saws and pieces of equipment on the tables. But other than that, the room is empty. One door to your north.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna mistwalk up on. I mean, I'm grimacing. I'm doing everything I can to not just cry and scream in agony. Let me mistwalk over to the table and grab 2 mallets. I want to grab. I just want to grab 2 mallets.
All right. Roll me a Constitution saving throw. Oh, and by the way, mechanically speaking, you're at 1 hit point.
Sure.
And 2 levels of exhaustion. But you can grab the 2 mallets.
19.
Let's see. Yeah. You manage to, grimace through the pain and just manage to grab up these things before, you like hold your weight of your chest basically in your arms on the table.
So basically, my thoughts here are to be, 1, as quiet as possible, and 2, I want to bide my time. That's really the most thing that I'm interested in doing. So are there any other ways into this place? Into this room?
There seems to be the one chamber. There's no lights coming in through here. There's no window. Just the one.
So, Calium has no intent of making a move until he absolutely has to. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to pop back up to the table, and I want to grab any horseshoes that I can.
Okay.
Anything that, in essence, what I'm looking for is something to wedge under the door.
Absolutely.
And lock it down.
Yeah. You go through this excruciating process of, teleporting, grabbing one of them, holding your weight onto it as your legs buckle underneath you, going to the door on your, belly, just like shoving it under there. And you hear a voice coming through some of the piping in the room from the ceiling, basically. It says, no, we're playing a game, Calium, come on. And you start to see a green gas pouring through these pipes into the chamber. It's thick and viscous and, heavy. It's like falling down to the ground.
Realizing he's not going to be able to do what he wants to bide his time, he is, I'm going to peek under the door. If I can see, so I can't really go through doors, but if it's a spot I can see, then I can maneuver. So basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay, I'm on my belly, on my back, whatever. I'm looking through the door, and I want to mistwalk under it to go to just right on the other side. Nothing fancy.
Yeah, you can just like peek a tiny bit of light from underneath, and you kind of out as the gas begins to fill the chamber. You're in a corridor at this point, and you will be able to see ahead of you. It's a 40 feet long corridor. All along the floor of the chamber, except from the one kind of like doormat to the door that you just came through. Beyond, there are spikes on the floor, which look to be deadly sharp. They just, as you see them up there, they just go back into the floor so that the ground is completely normal. There are no doors down this chamber. Just the end of the corridor, you see that it turns to the right.
So, is there a way that I can make it down? I want to study it. Calium's got a pretty high intelligence. He wants to kind of study it and see if there's a pattern. Are they continuing to rise, or is this something that is going to be triggered?
Roll me an investigation check as you maybe feel a bit of the floor, watch it for a while.
I have a +6 to that. Here we go. Natural 20, 26.
Oh, damn. Okay, you will know everything about this chamber that you find yourself in. So, you take a look at the floor, and you think there doesn't seem to be any pattern to it whatsoever. However, you do realize that something clicks in your mind. When you Misty walked into here and basically teleported using magic, these spikes went all the way up. So
okay.
She's betting on you, Misty walking through there.
Yeah, I get what she's going to want me to do. So I'm going to test it. I'm just going to miswalk 5 feet over and see what that does.
So when you... Okay, did I explain that properly?
No, you did. I'm just testing it. You're totally...
Okay,
yeah, I get it. So
you want to kind of like just miswalk a little bit to see if the spikes go up.
Yeah, I'm just going to test test in essence what I think it is. What I think it is.
Which they do. They immediately just kind of come straight up, and expecting something to be there, and then they just kind of go back down again.
Okay. So is the end of the hallway doing that?
At the end of the hallway is as well. Yeah, it seems that you'd have to probably just like physically.
I understand. Yeah, I'm checking. Okay, so there's no way that I'm going to be able to do this. Yeah, so I'm gonna start crawling. Let's start crawling through here. I'm gonna do what I can. I don't even know if I can crawl backwards. But basically, I'd like to put my feet first while I crawl. If there's any way to do that as possible, I'm just gonna test a section where the spikes are. I'd rather lose my feet than my life.
Yeah. So you kind of like manage to like probably move with your arms, your legs at this point to actually get them to move.
Yeah, I'm just kind of sliding down the hallway. Yeah.
And they don't seem to trigger upwards.
So yeah, I'm gonna make my way down the hallway to the corner.
Nice. As you pull yourself down, you find yourself at the end of this hallway, and there's an open door beyond. And you hear from the pipes, it says, "All right, that was kind of boring. Let's try and make things interesting now, shall we? Come on, Calium. This is test number 2. You're gonna like this one." So
I'm not gonna say any. I'm not gonna respond at all. Give her no satisfaction with this.
Yeah. You pull yourself into this room, dark room, small, 20 feet. Inside, there are 2 items on 2 different chairs. Chair on the right, we've got a little girl's doll, little toy doll. And it looks like a little girl. It's like a medieval Barbie. On the left, you have a wedding ring. Okay? And that's what you see as you walk in. No other exits or entrances to this chamber that you go into. Just straight little room. And she says, "Ha!" You just hear laughter.
What is the meaning of this one?
You have to choose. Remember when you were saying your wife and your daughter and Falkreath and well, I thought let's take you back to that day. Let's take you back and see what would happen if you had to choose.
Fine. Let's get on with it. So yeah, I'm gonna crawl up here, and I'm trying to think how you get this, you sadistic bastard. So I'm gonna crawl up, and I'm gonna take the wedding band.
Interesting. As you take up the wedding band, you feel something very strange happen within your stomach. You know that feeling when you're like, oh, my stomach just made a really strange gurgling kind of noise. It kind of makes a, strange noise, and you see a flash of white light. And Calium, you're standing in a field. The field is corn, golden corn, and you're looking back to your homestead, which is ablaze.
I'm going to immediately try. I'm gonna miswalk. I'm gonna miswalk up to it. I'm gonna assume that this is not some sort of illusion, and I'm just miswalking back to the hallway. I'm gonna assume this is beyond that.
It feels like you're in a lucid dream right now.
Am I able to walk in this dream?
You are, yeah. You're able to walk.
Yeah, then I'm gonna go sprinting towards the house. Absolutely.
Yeah. And as you sprint back towards the house, you hear the sounds of whinnying horses, that strong burning flame of the cottages and homesteads around your estate, which are on fire, and the clash of sword on sword as the few retainers who are here fight against a force of black and gold knights. And you look to your own home, large estate that it is, and it's on fire, and the door has been busted in.
Yeah, I'm looking for my family. There's no doubt about it. So I'm running in and sprinting up the stairs, miswalking wherever it'll save me time.
Absolutely. You rush through, desperate as you break through into your living room and rush up the staircase to where you hear the screams of your family. And that same sulfuric smell just fills your nostrils as you sense that there's that almost acrid, it's like lighter fuel is being used here. Like there's been an accelerant in the burning process, clearly. So you rush up the chamber. You bust into the room, throwing open the door, walking through to find a group of these knights in here who have forced their way in to attack your wife and your daughter. And you see the face of Falkreath again, the leader of this band, who has got this, long nose, it's almost twisted where it's been broken so many times. He's got a cruel look to him. Looks similar to a Lucius Malfoy kind of figure, I suppose, of the long white hair, which is kind of falling sweatily across him due to the heat which is in this chamber and in this room. And it twists and melds into Needles' face, as though it's warping back and forth, and you can't quite tell which one it is. They have your wife and your daughter, swords to both of their throats. And you hear him say, and again, if you're familiar with that scene from The Return of the King where you're not sure if it's, The Two Towers, where you're not sure if it's Gandalf or Saruman that's speaking, you get that with Falkreath's voice and Needles' as well, where they both seem to be melding in and out of one another until they're almost indistinguishable. So which one's it going to be?
I'm gonna just walk up and then try to put my blade through whoever's holding my daughter.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna try to save my daughter Alindra.
Yeah, you rush in there and you try and fight the guy, with your sword, and you realize that your sword isn't there, and the guy just like punches you out in the face, throws you up against the wall, and you have a nice, punch you through, holds back your head. It's like, when you're in a dream and your body's moving like treacle, and you're trying to get away from something and you just can't. It's that same horrific feeling of just resignation and inevitability as they kind of grab you and hold you up to look at Falkreath. So which one's it going to be?
Save her. And I point over to my daughter. Please. Please.
But you chose the wedding band.
I know. Please.
And you watch your daughter looking at you. She's crying. You see her eyes looking straight towards you in fear and lack of comprehension, just sheer terror and sadness in her eyes, and your wife as well. And they slit your daughter's throat in front of your eyes, and the blood spills onto the carpet in front of you. They throw down her body, and you feel yourself just collapsing down onto your knees as they throw you down, and then you're back in the chamber.
I'm just inconsolable and weeping at this point.
You hear the laughter coming down from the pipes.
I as cool and calm as Calium is, he has zero composure at the moment.
So we've learned something about you today, haven't we, Calium?
Please. Stop. Please stop.
Make it all end if you want.
Why? Why are you doing this?
Because I can, Calium. And because it's fun.
I'm gonna kind of just look up. Is she in the room with me? Do I see her anywhere?
You like hear the voice coming down through pipes.
And so there's no doors or anything like that?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to kill you. Or I'm going to die trying. Do you hear me?
Yes, I imagine you will. There's that anger again. It keeps getting you into trouble. You feel the chamber, the floor of the chamber, the stone chamber, begin to rumble and move as sections of it fall away, leaving a staircase down into darkness. Next one, then. This is getting more and more fun.
I'm gonna continue to crawl and down into the darkness. Still not using my mistwalk.
Mm-hmm. As you reach the bottom of the staircase, which is pretty painful to like just pull yourself down the staircase because every one is like a doom, everyone another needle in the kneecaps and the legs have been fractured and broken. And you get down into this room, which is again no entrances or exits other than the one which you came from. There is a door. The door is locked, and there is no key.
So it's basically an empty room with a locked door, no key. That's it.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of browse around to see if there's anything sticking out, any I don't know, switches, any false stones, anything like that.
Roll me a perception check.
That I can do, sir. A massive 21.
Ooh, 21. This room is almost featureless. It's almost strange in its lack of features. Everything's been cleaned in here. Everything's been like dusted. There are no loose stones. It all looks like it's been put perfectly together. No traps. No key. One door.
I'm going to miswalk back up the steps, grab the bear, rip it open.
There's nothing inside.
What game is this?
Perhaps you'll have to look within yourself.
He looks down, understanding. He's looking around for something sharp. He takes one of the legs from the chair and grabs it with one of his hammers that he has and breaks it off to kind of try to splinter it a little bit. And begins the horrific process of digging inside of his own stomach for a key for this door.
Absolutely.
At whatever negative modifier he needs to do that with.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Sure, buddy. There's the 4.
There it is. Was there any doubt?
We have a show, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Was there ever any doubt?
Now the real show begins. All those good rolls, you know what's coming.
You like pass out as you like try and dig this like shard of wood into your stomach and just like rip the lining of the stomach until you can find something inside. As first stroke, you're like almost vomit from the pain. The second one, you just kind of like pass out. You wake up an indeterminate amount of time later, and the shard is still in your stomach. There's enough to like fit a finger in there, but you couldn't like.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm until I find the key, I've got to continue digging for this, trying not to bleed out.
Yeah, roll me another Constitution.
Here comes a 14.
There it is. Is that a disadvantage, by the way?
Oh wait, let's see what we got. An 11.
Excellent. Yeah, pass out again as you like rip more of this open, and you basically like come back to consciousness, and you look down at it, and then you like give it another pour.
I can't believe we're gonna keep doing this one.
And then you just you're like, oh god, it hasn't done. And by the time you've done this, 3 or 4 times, just keep passing out and coming back, and there's just blood pouring out from you. there is enough of a space, shall we say, and you feel something there.
Yeah, I'm gonna remove the key, which I assume the key is there. So I'm gonna pull it out, and
Absolutely, it is, yeah.
painful and awful and angry and being tortured, and now it's fight or flight is kicking in, and so Calium is just determined to get through this.
Yeah.
So and I'm gonna leave one of the hammers there, and I'm gonna take this little chair stick that I have, the sharpened chair stick. I'm gonna put the key in, and do everything I can to pull myself up to the door, put the key in, turn it, and then just kind of.
Other hand is like holding the gut, basically, like holding the wounds in to stop yourself bleeding out onto the stone floor, and you desperately manage to get the lock into the key and turn it, and you push the door open and see the salvation before you, which is the initial room that you're in before, with the 3 tables.
I quickly mist walk up to the table.
And you hear it
try to at least get a little bit of a better vantage point.
as you look back and you realize the secret door from which you entered in, which looked like the stone wall from this side, kind of pushed itself open. You find yourself back in this room and you hear a laugh. You didn't actually think I would let you go, did you? No. No.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna assess the situation, and I'm just trying to
realize that we
deal with the pain.
a lot of time together, and we get to do this over and over and over. And the gas begins to fill the chamber pretty quickly, and it seems to be filling the chamber back there and the one from the door as well.
I'm gonna assess whether this gas is. Is there a way that I can? I'm not sure that it's actually poisonous. If that isn't part of the trick.
Like a medicine or a nature check.
I'm so glad I'm so wise. Let's see. Nature's intelligence based. +3. An 11. An 11. With confidence.
Yeah. I mean, it looks certainly green and scary, but you're not sure the exact effects it will have on you. It's unlikely that it will just kill you, based on what she said.
Yeah, I'm not going back. I'm not gonna keep doing this circle of doom and destruction. I'm gonna take a chance that this is either going to kill me and put me out of my misery, or it's part of the test.
Absolutely. Yeah, you breathe in the gas as it fills the chambers, and you feel yourself, just your consciousness going from you again. I mean, your consciousness is already pretty weak due to the the physical assaults upon your body, and you pass out pretty swiftly as this gas sends you to sleep. Pretty restful sleep.
Save or dice, right?
Save or dice, ladies and gentlemen. And then you wake up, and you're in a chamber, and there are 3 tables, and your legs are nailed down with needles and malleted to the table, and the secret door is closed, and everything is reset, and you realize that this is going to happen over and over and over, and the panic begins to set in.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, let's go back to our good friends, Ajax and Wyrme and Vadin, who are teleporting to the rescue. Time to save the day, boys.
Is there time to stop by an armory before we head out?
Oh,
Well, didn't we just get a whole cache of weapons and armor from?
This is true.
Ajax is in a hammer mood. Hammer time.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you do have Gunther's armory, so
Oh, that's right.
Absolutely. Grab some big hammers, sledgehammer, something like that.
Proper
Yeah.
paints.
Nice.
He's just gonna grab a big maul and a couple of hand axes.
Nice. So, the group of you teleport in, and you find yourselves, as teleportation in our world is not an exact science, you find yourselves in a chamber, which has several windows that overlook essentially several different corridors and chambers. You appear to be in some kind of command room. You're underground somewhere because there's no natural light which is coming through. But there is a desk and a table and a pile of needles upon that table, which look distinctly similar to your good friend Needles.
So, looking around, we're in one of those blood circles.
Correct.
Well, I cross out of the blood circle to the table where all those needles are.
Mhm.
I begin dumping them into my bag of holding because they do not need. We don't need any excess needles floating around. That is for sure. What is with these blood circles and this blood magic? Does no one else use normal magic anymore?
Well, Wyrme,
This seems normal, Wyrme.
blood magic is quite powerful, and everyone has blood, so it is always at hand.
Apparently.
There are two exits to this chamber. Both of them are with doors, to the front and to the back. There are doors. You guys can roll me a quick perception check as you look over these different chambers that are down here. And by the way, this looks like a really fucking sadistic dungeon that you guys have just walked into, if that wasn't clear. There are all sorts of torture accoutrements around. There is a diary as well, which pretty good.
Yeah, El's gonna go. I got a 21 on my perception, so he's gonna go look at that diary.
Nice.
Although I shudder to read the ramblings in it.
Yes, they are indeed ramblings. Ramblings of someone completely mad. And they describe different torture patterns and different torture methods upon various different victims who are not named at all. They are simply referred to as different subjects, so A, B, C, A1, A2, and so on. And it seems like this diary is just like filled with notes. Like this is not your like pocket diary. This is your 2017 full page A4 diary. Like you've been putting all of your notes into. This person's clearly gone to town on this with a fair amount of notation and there's like sticky notes in it to go to certain pages and they're like all organized in a maddening manner. Talks a lot about gas, talks a lot about a memory treatment, which basically means that when the user wakes up from this gas, they'll quickly forget many of the events previously, meaning that they experience the torture and the horror all over again and don't begin to, like they can't steel themselves. So, I know she's going to cut off my finger now or she's going to flay my toe or whatever, which, by the way, is something that Calium is experiencing at the moment, beginning to start to kind of having trouble remembering what was going on. And this person is clearly a sadist and insane.
Okay.
Or just really good at what I do.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pocket that diary because anyone who puts this much love into this would probably want to keep this around. And if there's any way to torture someone who loves to torture, it's to take away their torture book. So,
wiser words never said.
He's going to put that in an internal robe pocket.
That's what I always say. It's one way to torture a torture person is to take away their torture book. I don't have my manual. No.
What am I gonna do?
I don't remember how to torture.
Wing it.
Take away their torturer's handbook and they're gone. Torturer's guide to everything. You just delete it and they can't do anything.
So I kind of probably would have slinked. I didn't notice anything, but I would have saw him walk over. So I would have kind of slinked over and looked over his shoulder a bit. Can I drop an investigation check?
Go ahead, yeah.
Also, all right. So
As you use the torture book on the torturer.
that's a 21.
Foiled by my own petard.
There's needles laying around. There's a book. Someone's sadistic. It's probably not like a huge leap of faith to go with. This belongs to needles. So one of the things I'm kind of thinking is, like, that book is really in depth and it's a lot of stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
And she's only supposed to be like 15.
Correct.
Seems a little odd. She seems very
Right.
mature, crazy for her age.
Sure, she certainly is. She certainly is. So you get, give it on your investigation check. You're certainly getting that this is the work of several years. So this, if she were like, a teenager, she'd have been doing this from she was like, 6 or something like that, which doesn't seem possible to have the, be able to write in such a way when you're such an age, right? So either she's some kind of creature which can look like that for ages, or there's something else going on.
I'll
Yes.
voice my concerns. This is odd. It doesn't seem right. Needles, I don't think she is really a child. It's hard to tell with you humans sometimes, but that is no help.
That is true, Wyrme, but I do not believe we know the full story with this Needles. I do not believe that she is human.
That is what I said.
Right. I
None of
concur.
these people.
I just said it in a more prophetic way.
None of these people seem to be who they are. So, which way do we go, Wyrme?
Forward or back?
So based on her notes, you can work out that there are testing chambers behind you, and there are active cells in front.
My guess is we go the way of her playthings.
Well, I'm pretty sure that she's probably torturing Calium as we speak, so
If he's still alive.
if he
Part
is,
Part of me hopes he's not.
well, and Eldine will be flipping through these books, just seeing about how long an average torture lasts.
It varies, as you're like flipping through.
Uh-huh.
Longer than you expect.
Yeah, you think it's over, and then there's another one.
Right.
She has various different ones. It depends, exactly what routine she's used. Anywhere from like 10 minutes to, 10 hours.
Callum is strong, body, mind. He would probably last a long time.
Well, in that case, he is probably in an active cell, so mayhap we should go forward.
All right. Pressing forwards. Ajax first through the door.
Yeah, Ajax will go first through the door. He'll heft his hammer and open it. Try to open it quietly.
Mm-hmm. You see that there's a woman down the end of this corridor. And the woman appears to be in her mid to late 20s. She's pushing a trolley along, a cart, I guess. I don't know if that translates. And upon it, there's it's like hospital food, right? It looks like she's like packets of food and drinks and stuff like that. She's wearing like a kind of basic nurse's outfit, pretty brown hair. She's looks up at you guys as you're coming through. Oh, sorry, I don't know who you are. Are you visitors to the hospital?
Yes, of course, visitors.
That we are.
Of course, who have you come to see?
Come to see Calium.
Calium, do you know which ward he's in?
We were not given that information. Perhaps you could help us.
Yes, of course. Well, why don't we come in here? I can take a look at the books. And she kind of puts her cart into through a door into another chamber. Would you like to follow me in here?
I'll turn and look at my
Wait,
compatriots.
what's in the next room? Can we see into it?
So you're kind of. I imagine you've kind of walked out. She's like 20 feet ahead. She's like, "Come over here." So you'd have to like, get to where the door is, look around.
Yeah, let's go see what's in there.
Walk over to the door.
There's 5 other nurses. They're all of their buttons pop open at the same.
It's how it starts.
This is exactly what the sponsors were worried about.
No. He stepped into this next room, and it looks like a waiting room at a like a doctor's office or whatever. Like there's like magazines around, there's like benches and chairs where people can be seen. No one else is here. There's a reception where she goes behind and starts looking through this ledger. Calium, was it?
Yes.
Yes.
Calium. Ah, yes. Okay. Well, he's in Ward C.
Where's that?
Oh, well, I suppose I could show you if you like.
That would be quite delightful.
Excellent. Might I ask who Calium is to you? Is he a brother or?
Relative.
Oh. Okay. Well, follow me to the corruption ward then.
Yes.
She said corruption ward?
You've been. Has he
Yeah,
been
you guys like,
corrupted?
yeah. I'd love to go there. Like, wait, what did she say? Yeah, she definitely said corruption ward. Ward C.
Corruption ward? I just thought he had some injuries.
Oh, well, I'm sure they're being fixed.
Mm.
That's what the corruption ward is for, of course.
Yes.
Fixing
Those...
of the mind, repurposing of the brain,
Ah.
cleansing of the corruption.
Yes. Well, we'd like to see how he's faring.
Ah, of course. Well, I'll have to see your visitor badges.
Visitor badges.
You see Ajax grab his wall, just like tighten the grip on it.
All right.
Letting someone with more wits and charisma.
I'm gonna. I don't have a lot, but
badges.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast a suggestion on her. Just basically like, you have seen our badges. Now take us to the ward towards C in Calium.
All right. She has a roll of wisdom.
Yes, wisdom save.
13.
That is not enough, sir.
All right. You see her just, of course, and she begins to head back out the door and further down a tunnel to a set of staircases.
And we'll follow her.
Yeah, you follow her down the series of chambers which wend and wind their way across this basically this undercity. You realize, like, there is a lot of tunnels down here, and there are other nurses as well. It seems like men and women. There are doctors and surgeons who are coming in and out of these cladded, locked doors. Some of them are steel, some of them are wood. But this would look to be very much similar to an asylum, from the 90s or something like from the 1900s. The doctors come out with blood all over their hands, all over their arms, and the nurses seem to be cleaning it up. Come out of medical tools, and there are some of the medical tools as well that are pretty questionable. You've got a lot of bone saws, mallets, a fair amount of needles here as well. Actually, now that you look at it, you never get a glance inside any of the cells. However,
When we saw there was windows in that initial chamber we came in, and when we looked out, was any of that familiar?
So if you try and place where you guys would be at this point, you'd think that you probably headed along northwards from where the chamber is. So it'd probably be, observation chamber would be to your south and up. So that
I mean, are we back in the city?
Oh no, you wouldn't be able to see upwards anywhere. You know that you're underground somewhere. So
Okay.
you're not exactly sure which area of the world you're in. Sorry. So she leads you down this corridor. Well, there must be hundreds of patients in this, undercity, and eventually leads you to a door. Above it reads Ward C. Here you go.
I appreciate your assistance in this matter.
You are more than welcome. Enjoy your stay.
I'll turn and look at Ajax. Like, well, do you want to go first?
There's a door in front of us, I guess.
Yep, steel, no window to see within or anything.
He'll push it open with his maul.
Mm-hmm. Kind of, screeches open that sound like kind of tortured metal. And it looks like, we would probably recognize this as like a decontamination chamber. Ajax probably just sees a small tunnel and a door at the end.
Okay. He strides in. I mean, is the nurse staying with us, or is she?
No, she seems to be waiting at the door. I can't go any further.
All right.
So Wyrme from the doorway will look in, look at the ceilings, look at the floor, observe everything.
Mm-hmm. Roll me a perception check.
Oh, I'm so good at those.
Well, what? Oh, never mind. The god of force has been given
natural.
supplication.
Natural 4 on the die. Yeah, I mean, it looks like a pretty normal chamber. There's no traps in here as far as Wyrme can see.
All right.
It appears to be clear.
Ajax will walk in.
Now, Ajax is in. Vadin, Wyrme, you guys going after?
How far down the hallway is the doorway? The second door?
About 40 feet down.
I will stay by the doorway to cover them and to keep my eye upon the nurse.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and start moving in cautiously.
The nurse looks towards Wyrme and says, "Are you going? I can't leave this door open for contamination reasons."
I see. I will stay on the outside of the door and shut it.
All right. You shut the door, and kind of, with a clang, it kind of shuts in there. You see your friends inside.
I will wait here for my companions.
Oh, well, you either go in or you stay.
Yes, I stay right here.
I mean, well, there's no coming back.
Why not?
They're patients now.
They're patients now.
Well, they were lost. They needed to get towards sea, and clearly they had been corrupted.
I see. I'm going to reach into my bag of holding and pull out my thunder cannon and slam the stock into her under the chin.
Mm-hmm. As you do this, and you don't have to roll because she's just a person, and it's not expecting that at all. Ajax and Elvadine, the room begins to fill with a thick green gas from pipes above. Just kind of. The steel door behind you is clanged shut. There is no handle on here, and there's no handle on the door 40 feet down the end of the corridor either. And the chamber is filling quickly.
So Ajax is going to turn to the door he just came through and try to just knock a gap into it or something. Try to beat it down with his maul.
Yeah, roll me a strength check.
Okay.
Don't worry, buddy. It's probably not harmful. You should just gamble and see if you'll be all right.
We know what it does.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. I think I might. He's probably. Ooh, I don't know that I want to rage. We'll see. All right. Let's go. Here we go.
By the way, medieval hospitals terrify me. So
Yeah. And I'm going to use a luck point on that 13 I just rolled.
all right.
See if I don't get something better for that.
Yeah, why not?
Not really.
No. You begin to kind of boom, boom, boom on this steel door of your hammer as the gas begins to kind of fill down around you guys pretty swiftly. Vadin, you've got a chance to try something here.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure how much a firebolt will hurt the door. But let's see.
I love that gas is flammable.
Maybe the gas is flammable. Is the gas near us yet?
Absolutely it is, yeah. You're struggling not to breathe this in at this point.
Fuck it. I'm gonna just cover myself up as much as possible and shoot a firebolt to see if we'll see.
All right. Roll me an attack roll with a fireball, and you're firing it at the door, right? Or you're just firing it into the gas. Okay.
A 14.
Uh-huh.
So 21.
21. It's pretty good. So, you managed to slam it into the door, the fireball, even as this gas is beginning to fill your lungs as you cover your mouth and try not to breathe any of it in. Yeah, it chars the steel door, right? You see the door just kind of as the flames burn around it, and you see that it's black and charred from the damage to it. But it's not as though the door is melted from a fireball. Wyrme outside, as you kind of clang this girl, and she just is knocked out on the ground.
As soon as I knock her out, I would want to open the door.
Yeah. So you kind of you knock her out. She falls down to the ground. You grab the door, and the door is it's not coming. The handle is stuck. It's jammed.
All right, I will pull out my tinker tools or thieves tools, whichever is more appropriate, and go to work.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at tinker tools actually. Just get a wrench in there and pull something around. Give me a roll of those.
Sure.
Wow.
There it is.
Wow.
Really good at those.
Wow.
You just wrench it open and pull open the door as it kind of and the gas just begins to pour out into this chamber as well and begins to kind of fall out of there. As Vadin and Ajax are almost woozily falling asleep, the gas stops pouring and begins to dissipate out from the way which Wyrme has come out, basically. Seems like they expected a 12-second period of the gas. That will do it. So Wyrme, you've managed to open the door in time.
I didn't like her.
Wyrme, thank you. Can you rig this door so it cannot be shut again?
I can probably figure something out.
Yeah.
So I'll go into my bag and start pulling things out to kind of block the hinges and stuff. So if someone wants to shut it, they're gonna have to really work at it.
Sure thing. Yeah, that works for me.
All right, then. It's wedged open.
Yep.
Look at the nurse is out cold.
Yeah, she's not getting up anytime soon, but they are going to find her body here. It is in the middle of a ward.
Well, okay, let's just pull the body inside the hallway.
Yeah. We'll take
Someone will be coming to collect those who go through this chamber.
Yes. We should be ready for them, huh?
She caught us patients. Once you go through, you're a patient. That is the only way through and out.
Yeah. It seemed a little too easy, I suppose, but well, good thinking, Wyrme. Let's take her with us. And then the door's at the 40 feet away, the other door.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. And see if somebody comes and collects them.
You want to kind of wait?
Just for maybe a minute or two.
I have an idea.
Yes.
Perhaps I can feign unconsciousness, and you can wait by the side of the door. I imagine they will come from that side.
Yeah. Yeah, if there's a way to hide on the right next to the door frame,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the door is big. You've jammed it open a little bit, so you can see through a sliver of the into the hallway beyond where there are other doctors and nurses.
Yeah, I like that plan.
Okay.
Well, I assume they're going to come through that other door to collect people. And
Yeah,
bring
like
them
from
that
inside
way.
the ward, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can have both entrances checked. You will hear a voice coming from the way that Wyrme and the nurse were, so outside the ward, in the general area where you can get to different wards, and you hear a voice. Which is probably a little bit far away. It's not directly outside. You can't see the person. But there's a conversation between two people. One of them, a nurse, says, have you seen her anywhere? She's meant to be on duty soon. And male voice comes back, no, I have not seen her. And she says, well, if you see her, please let me know. I very much doubt that I will find her. I have an important operation to do. Now, get out of my sight. Yes, doctor. She heads away. So they are aware that she's gone. Not sure where she is exactly. It doesn't seem like too much attention has been drawn to her disappearance as of yet. But we'll see.
Okay.
Well, we probably should make haste.
Yeah. The first closet we come across or cell, we'll throw her in there. Although perhaps we should just... No, never mind. Is anybody coming to see about the decontamination hallway?
Decontamination in the hallway, not immediately. I mean, you'd imagine that if you waited here long enough, someone would come. It's a matter of time, how much time you guys would want to wait here, really. You've been here a couple of minutes now.
No one's coming for us.
No one's coming for you immediately. Seems like you're under the radar for now, and the longer you wait, they're going to look for this missing nurse.
Yeah.
All right.
Perhaps we were wrong. Perhaps I was wrong on how they operate.
Good
Who
one,
knows how
Wyrme.
long that gas would have knocked us out for? Could have been out for hours.
In that case, I can look at the other door.
Yeah, because
Okay.
there wasn't a hinge on it, right? Or a handle.
Mm-mm.
Correct, yeah. You look through that door, and sorry, you can't look through the door. You'd have to bust it open somehow.
I'm gonna look for mechanisms, or if I can access the hinges.
You've got your Tinker's tools on you, so give me a Tinker's tools roll to see how quickly you can get this thing done.
Unreal, dude.
So that's another 27.
That's the second one.
Holy
Unreal.
Nikes.
I was going to be like, do you want guidance? But never mind.
Yeah, you don't do that. Like very quickly, you realize that these are indeed half pin barrel hinges, and you manage to use the appropriate amount of leverage to just pop them open. And the big kind of steel door just kind of pushes its way open. You see before you there is
It's not how hard you hit something, it's where.
ladies. You also notice that in the chamber beyond that you've just stepped into, there is a doctor. He is wearing a long doctor's overcoat, and you will also see that he has with him a clipboard and several syringes on him as well. There is a general kind of walking area that you're in. It's like you've come through the wards and you can see... Okay, so imagine that the previous ward, outside ward, was kind of on a semicircle. You've kind of gone through the semicircle and come round to another semicircle. It's just like deeper within the maze of this place. Similar sort of layout in terms of the corridors, but less movement around. It seems like only doctors are back here. He has a tray of bone saws and severed limbs. He looks up at you. Ah, we have some new patients. Excellent, excellent.
Ah, yes, doctor. Meet Ajax. Ajax, meet doctor.
I'm gonna hit him. I'm not trying to kill him, but I'm just gonna
All right. Give me an attack roll.
All right.
Barbarian's tired of the ship. Oh god! Yes!
That's a crit.
So much yes!
I am not trying to kill him, but I might
All
say.
natural.
That'll do it, Jim. Yeah, roll me the attack.
Here's the
roll
damage.
damage, rather.
Destroyed.
Here we go. So that's 13.
Nice. You knock him out cold. He's not dead, but he is not waking up anytime soon. Looks at you in surprise and just takes it to the face.
Yeah, is there any place to stash him and the nurse?
Yeah, there is there's like closet rooms around here.
Yeah. I'll take care of that. I'll just drag the two of them into the closet. Anybody got any rope?
Oh yeah, Wyrme starts pulling out rope from his pouch.
All right.
And Elvadine will start looking around the room.
Okay. Roll me a perception check, Vadin.
Nice. 19.
19. You find a second ledger in here by a desk, which has patients upon it. Along the list of several hundred patients, you see Calium's name. He is in room 147, which is, based on signs around this hospital, northwards.
I will share that with the other two. We have found him. Let's make haste.
About it.
Yeah, Ajax will hastily time up, and then if there's like any cloth or something that I can blindfold and gag them, I'd like to do that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. They do have some traditional, nursing things around, so you just sort of gag them, stuff them into a closet, and lock it away. As you're progressing down to room 147, you run into absolutely nobody. There is no one here whatsoever, and all the other steel doors are closed. Nothing is open. And you feel a sense of growing unquiet and dread. Something feels wrong about this. It's like way too easy so far. Like, you've gotten through here, there was a nurse to help you. Sure, they tried to knock you out, but there's been no resistance whatsoever, and this seems out of Needles' usual playbook.
Right, and our adversary can conjure magical tunnels.
Right. Clearly.
Yeah. I mean, Ajax is a fatalist is of a sort of a fatalism right now, and is walking into the trap.
You think Aldarian knows about this place?
How could he not?
I mean,
Needles
Very well.
is more than she appears.
he very well could have built it. And yeah, I'm gonna pull out that book and flip through it again and see if I can glean anything.
Roll me an intelligence check, Pruitt.
$12.
There are some inconsistencies in this, you think. The first of which is that, well, you figure maybe she's something else, and so the age stuff doesn't really add up. So that's one immediate inconsistency that you think is a little bit odd about this book. At times as well, you notice that the ink on it's difficult to explain. So the Half-Blood prints and the diary, which seems to write itself.
Right.
It seems at times that you've almost, as you turn a page quickly, you've almost caught the book writing pages, and you remember, oh, I was on page 345 before, and it said this, and now it says something entirely different. Right. So this is suspicious. Fairly suspicious in that maybe the information in this book, some of it might be true, some of it might not be, and it might be leading you in a certain direction.
Right, so we shouldn't trust that he's actually in room 140, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that book was different from the ledger which you found. So the ledger which you found was the doctor's one, which said he was in 147. This book has told you everything about this place, and it was just lying on the desk when you came in.
It's that easy book. Gotta be careful.
Kill it. It's a mimic.
It's trying to eat your face. So what are the room numbers in the hallway that we're at right now? Like, how far away are we?
You are arriving into the 140 range, and you can see down the corridor 147.
Okay. And we're passing by like patient cells and things like that.
Yes, all of them are closed with the same steel doors.
Do they have like a view hole or something?
Sure, you can like pull one away and see inside.
I'd like to just peek in one.
Yeah. You look inside and you see an empty room in 142 that you're looking at.
But that
there is
list was like this place should be packed with patients, yeah?
Right. You don't remember exactly what was in 142.
Gotcha.
Maybe there was someone in there. If you would look in 143, you look inside and you see that there is a woman strapped down to the table.
Is she conscious?
Hard to tell. She's either asleep or unconscious.
Okay. I'll close the viewing window then.
Nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here.
Nope.
Wrong one. You're staying in there, sweetheart.
Excuse me, ma'am.
The doctor will be in shortly. Close.
Long, pretty hair, but it's not Calium.
So, yeah, I can't shake the feeling that we're walking into a trap of some kind. But
Since this whole debacles began, when has it not felt like a trap?
right, exactly.
Not for a moment.
Well, we'll either fight our way out or die trying. And let's go find Calium.
Oh, they've already tried to kill us once. We did all right.
All right.
Which they do you speak of? There's been many they.
All right. So you see 147 before you. There is no shutter on this. Not all of them have shutters that you can look into.
Not on these.
Not on 147.
Do you like
148 has a shutter. 146 doesn't either.
Oh, this is no good.
I will investigate the door.
Roll me an investigation check.
I'll go ahead and give you guidance.
All right, so. What am I looking for? This is what I'm looking for. Come here. Come here. And so that's a 15 plus 16, so it's a 16.
16 is pretty good. There are no traps upon the door.
And this one has a latch on the outside.
It does.
So is it like the other latches, or is this one like got a lock mechanism?
It looks like it's got like a key. But it looks like you could probably tamper with that if you wanted to, unlock it from out here.
Yeah, I get out my thieves' tools and pick the lock.
Sure. You don't need to roll on that. It's only a matter of time before you open that up.
Okay. But if I did need to roll.
Jeez.
Dude, like doors, no
Doors are
problem.
my thing, yo. It's my jam.
Wyrme destroys all doors.
Dave Friant. Doors are my thing, yo.
Usually I'll only bother rolling for asking for rolls on that when there's a time pressure or something like, because Wyrme is considered to be excellent at opening doors.
I already had the dice hovering over the box.
All right.
So before you, as you enter into, I haven't entered yet, I guess, but as you look into this one, the door opens. You will see your friend Calium on a table in the middle of this room.
I am going to pull out my thunder cannon.
He appears to be unconscious, and I kill him.
And I am actually going to cover from the door.
Ajax, get him. I'll watch from here.
All right. So Ajax is from the doorway. What does the room look like?
The room looks a little bit like the map, which is on your screen.
Gotcha.
At the moment, you've got these 3 tables in it. Calium's on one of them.
Calium's on the middle one.
Right.
looking at him, is there anything we can discern about is he unconscious?
Yes. If you were to look at him, you'll see that he is unconscious, clearly been knocked out. His stomach looks like it's been ruptured recently and sewn, possibly re-sewn. And there are nails and huge needles through his kneecaps, which nail him into the table.
Yeah.
I'll move over immediately and begin looking over him. And can I do a like a medicine check to try to remove these needles?
It's probably going to take a hot minute, but you could probably try. You might need some of this is like actually like fine work, so someone like Wyrme might have the ability to kind of like with his quick little fingers get in there, and some of it is like, you know, you need more than one pair of hands to get these things out, basically.
Okay.
Well,
Ajax
actually,
is-
sorry.
I was gonna say Ajax is gonna take one of his hand axes and jam it in the door so it like physically prevent it from closing, even though Wyrme's right there.
Right.
And he'll join Vadin in getting these needles out of.
It's okay.
Like
Looking over it, Ajax. I believe that Calium might be able to extricate himself better than we could.
Perhaps.
And
yes.
I'm going to use my last spell slot and cast Cure Wounds.
Okay.
On Calium.
Yeah. Alrighty. Let me find something that I'm looking for. Good.
Into the trap is a cure spell.
Ha! Yes. Little did you know. All right. I would like, as you heal Calium, for Wyrme to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh. I was hoping you would say that.
Oh, so that's an 18. It's not as good as the 17 I wasted on the door.
It's pretty damn good, actually.
It's pretty good. I'd take an 18.
Let me find. Yeah, damn.
Yeah, man, I'm hardy.
Let me find. Max con every time for when the con save comes. Okay, so you meet. Oh, excellent. All right. So, Wyrme, you're feeling pretty good. You're waiting by this door, you know, watching with your front cannon out, watching your companions, and as that happens, you feel a rushing of air, like a, and you, as you're by the door, you yourself are not pushed by this as you're kind of in the door. However, the door itself and the axe, which is wedged in there, are force pushed and shattered into the room, basically. And while you yourself are kind of in the doorway, the door slams itself. You can try and get yourself back through the door if you like, or like even in the door. That would probably be incredibly painful. But those are your options, or you could just come into the room and
You would try and dive back through the door.
okay, roll me a dexterity saving throw.
That is a 12.
That is not enough, unfortunately. As you try and dive back in, the metal steel door just slams shut, locking the group of you in. You hear a voice from outside. Right. Well, here we have it. We have us all now. And you can hear a voice kind of booming through some of the pipes in the room as well.
Mm-hmm.
Calium, you're loosely aware as you kind of lucidly come back to awakeness that your friends are back with you and they are trying to help you. However, you look down and you realize the intense agony that you're in, and you're having trouble remembering the exact specifics of what have happened in the past few hours. You know that there was pain. You know that there's something about your family, but you can't quite grasp onto the exact specifics of what's happened to you. And she says, "Great. So now that we're all in attendance, you may see in that room that there are 3 tables, and there are 4 of you. Now, you want to save your friend, and I will happily let him walk free away. You can take him off that table if you want. I just ask that you lay down on that table for me."
I do not think that is going to be a very good idea for us.
Oh, come on. It's fun. Calium's been having fine time here, even though something's gone wrong with his legs. But that wasn't me, really. I lost my temper. I'm sorry.
Happens
How would
to
your
the best of
grandfather
us.
feel about this?
My grandfather? Oh, don't tell him. It'll be our little secret.
Ajax is going to be looking around the room and just get as much information about it as he can before he doesn't have the opportunity.
I'd like you to roll me a perception check. I'd like Vadin to roll me an Arcana check, because you said something happened.
Yeah, he was about to bring the book out and start looking at it again. Just this, all of this is not adding up.
I got a 21 for my perception.
Oh, damn. You spot the hidden door which Calium had previously came through, and it's slightly ajar. I mean, it's slightly out of place because he's walked through it. It was not quite flush as it was when he entered before. So there's another exit from this place.
How far away is it?
It is on the western side. So about like 5A on our 5 or 6A.
Gotcha.
Out to that way. Vadin, on your 14 Arcana? Yeah. Looking through the book and seeing what's going on here. Clearly, Calium's had like his memory has been fading away from him. You think that you could probably clear that, and that might help you discern some of the things that might happen and some of the weaknesses to this chamber.
Okay. So just using the book and talking to him, I think maybe I can help out with that.
Yeah, you'd need to like give him prompts, basically. Like, did this happen to you? And then he might start to remember. Right.
Okay. So yeah, just looking at the various ways of torture, I will begin like asking, like, did insects fly in? Did whatever? Did gas fill the room? Did
Did someone stab you in your freaking kneecaps?
Right.
Calium, listen to my voice. You have heard it throughout the years. I have been by your side. I have healed your wounds. I have cared for you. We are here for you, but we need your help. We need to know of your experiences. You have been here for a while. Think hard. Focus.
Uh,
Do you remember?
Yeah, it's a trick. And I'm trying to like I miswalk over to him and I'm kind of like trying to pull myself up on his pants. It's eternal. It goes in circles.
It is as in the same thing happens over and over.
Yes, make it stop. Please make it stop.
Start flipping through because there was an entry about using a gas that. I didn't
Right.
read that. Yeah. So
He keeps talking about these. He keeps talking about these. The gas coming in a cycle of doing it, and Pruitt, roll me a straight up intelligence here, and I give you advantage because Calium is giving you a fair bit of information here.
While they're doing that, Ajax is going to move towards the table closest to the secret door and make like he's considering laying down on it for Calium.
That's the kind of roll you needed right there. A natural 20.
Yeah.
Woot.
You start thinking about everything that you see in this place, every detail of place that you see in this whole place. Everywhere has piping. Everything is connected to some kind of piping system all around the place that you've walked down. You saw pipes up on the ceiling. You saw pipes in the decompression chamber that you're in. There are pipes in this room. She seems to use the pipes to not only to pump gas through, but to probably hear things that are going on in different chambers as well. Maybe even to spy on things as well. These pipes pump the gas up. And were you to send something back up the pipes, that might be a way to fight against whatever's going on here.
Yeah.
Might even be enough to, if you were to blow it up somehow, there's probably a central gas chamber in here connected to those pipes.
Oh, Wyrme's got a bag of explosives, yeah?
Yeah, straight up fire didn't explode this stuff.
Right.
So it's some kind of compound.
Yeah.
Wyrme? Do you think that you could concoct something? Ajax, do you think, what if we were to bend some of these pipes back on themselves to build pressure? Do you think that's a possibility?
How high up are the pipes?
Reachable. I mean, at the top of the chamber, but, someone as tall as Ajax could get up there and reach them.
Okay. And then are they close enough that you could, in fact, maybe bend one in on itself?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll nod I'll nod to Elvadine.
What cantrips do you have?
The only thing I have is firebolt and got Hand of Radiance, Message, Light, Guidance, Prestidigitation.
So just checking. No mage hand.
Yeah. No mage hands.
Well, I will. Wyrme will, get one of the tables directly under the piping and just use his thunder cannon because it's got an obnoxious range to it, and it is probably the most damaging thing I have.
So, yeah, the thunder just goes around all of the pipes and all of the places. We zoom out of all of the world of Penumbra, all the pipes in the earth, and zoom further out. Okay, all right. So you jam your thunder cannon up there, Wyrme.
I see him do that, and I immediately cover my ears.
Yeah, I move to the secret door to open it and keep it propped open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can go jam something in there, so it's not going anywhere. Wyrme, what do you do?
Oh, I pulled the trigger. This is when we demonstrate our 8 wisdom.
Exactly. This is...
Well spoken, sir.
This is where we use the power of thunder. You pull the trigger. No, but it really adds to it. As Elvadine plays a little ditty, you pull the trigger and just this huge, resonation of sound goes out from the thunder cannon as confined into this small space of the pipes, this energy just like shoots straight up these brass pipes, and you do begin to hear it all around the hospital. And then you're like, you wait for like 5 seconds. Hospital.
The laser.
you like wait 5 seconds, and you're like, nothing's happened. And then you hear this big rumble, and you're like, holy shit, what did that do? How much fucking gas is there in this place? And you hear from outside Needles, what? And running footsteps away from the door as she flees in panic. And you hear this low kind of rumble, which is constantly there, and it seems like it's getting louder and louder. It's going,
Gentlemen, I believe it is time. We should probably depart this room.
Book it.
nice.
And I'm not that strong, but I'll try to help Calium up.
Yeah, you can kind of, get him over your shoulder. Calium can't really walk; he kind of has to be carried. How much does Calium weigh? Actually, is he that heavy?
He's an elf, and he's got like not a lot of strength bulk on him. So I'd say like, I don't know, 160, 165, something like that.
Mm-hmm. So
I have an 8 strength.
Lift, yeah. With his like 5 pound
Oh, yeah.
weight.
He has 0% chance of walking at all.
Yeah. So, as you send off this, minor explosion within the hospital somewhere, the group of you kind of rush through this side tunnel which Ajax has found.
Are there pipes on the ceiling here?
Oh yeah.
Ajax is every pipe he sees, he's going to take his maul and smash it as hard as he can, seeing if he can't like bend them and seal them off that way.
Nice. Okay, yeah. You kind of like wrap it around itself. The pipe makes a little surprise sound. And
when Wyrme sees Ajax do that, he tries to assist with the mending spell to try and like heal them.
Yeah. He looks.
Joke's on you. That's just back building pressure.
He like starts building up. The rumbling gets loud. You're like, fuck. You go through this like really quick physics lesson where you're like, damn it. You learn all about gases, and you're like, shit.
There
It's
are
like
presumably other pipe exits.
there are like this like 5-second montage where we all learn science and how we've just broken it completely.
Taught by Bill Nye, of course.
Yeah, we broke physics again, guys. Shit. Oh wait, it's magic. So the group of you like, hang on, there must be an explanation to this. Magic is the explanation. You carry over the 3, you add the 2, yeah, and turns out equals magic. So as the group of you take the lesson in there, you run into a chamber or hobble into a chamber which has 2 chairs in it. Calium begins to remember what this had in it, a wedding band and a toy doll initially. You kind of run up a staircase, and there is this room. There's one door. Calium seems to remember this door as well. This leads back to where you've come from, Calium. You know this thing is a maze, and there's secret entrances everywhere.
That will take you back to the other room. There must be another way.
Another secret door, perhaps?
I couldn't find it.
All right. I'll assist. If I'm not smashing a pipe, then I'll assist Vadin in carrying Calium, like between the 2 of us.
Roll me perception checks, arcana checks, whatever stuff you're looking for. If you're looking for magic, roll me arcana. If you're looking for straight up door, look for perception.
Yeah, I'm gonna give myself guidance on an arcana check to see if there's another way out of this.
Keep forgetting to add my disadvantage for every ability check.
So I got a 17.
17's pretty damn good. Vadin, who is not does not have his kneecaps nailed in and blood pouring out from him, has a bit of a clearer head than Calium did the first time he came into this room. Takes a glance around, he looks into his like thermal magic vision, and sees what he can see. There is a secret door in here as well, which is hidden up by an illusion field.
Illusions. There's a door.
Right.
But let us use it to get out of here.
Let us hope that it leads out and not
Give me
deeper
one.
into this maze.
Give me a moment to analyze it.
And I will use my ability to analyze magic and stuff, so detect magic.
Yeah, you can cast the detect magic. It is like an illusionary wall, basically. You can just walk straight through it and get to a door. The rumbling is getting louder and louder, and all the gas pipes are going.
Well done, El. Your keen, sharp eyes. Does it again.
As you bust through this, presumably as quickly as you can, taking Calium with you, the pressure building, the rumbling getting louder. You hear screams, muffled kind of screams from somewhere as people seem to be burning, potentially, patients, maybe nurses, maybe doctors, who knows, maybe needles. And you see, you're like, you go back to room 146, you look back in, she's burning alive in it. Never mind. Sorry, lady.
Marshmallows.
Yep. And you run up the staircase from which this illusionary wall comes up to. You're heading upwards, and you keep heading upwards around this staircases which wend and wind their way back through this maze of places. Calium is slowing you down unless he's doing any kind of mist walking. Although his magic is like interfered with at this point as well. He's still got that cloud over him.
I'm kind of actually freaking out right now, listening to the people and some women screaming in the background. Yeah. So I'm kind of having a little PTSD. So I'm not miswalking. I'm just kind of like freaking out and covering my face and ears and trying to block everything out that's going on around us.
Yeah. Okay. The group of you head up and continue, for like 2 or 3 minutes, rushing as fast as you can until you get to an upper balcony. It's basically a catwalk looking down. It's near the observation chamber like you were before. The observation chamber is opposite you, and you guys can see it. However, there's a catwalk. The catwalks are both on fire at this point as the gases and the pipes are just like chucking out fire. They are basically, flamethrowers at this point. It's the end of fucking Quantum of Solace, that bizarre James Bond movie that didn't make any sense. But now things are burning. Similarly, in that movie, because magic, because when you burn, air explodes. The group of you are on these 2 catwalks. There are like screaming nurses that are on fire, like running through these things. There's a couple of doctors that are just burnt alive and charred corpses down here. The observation room isn't on fire yet, but the fire is spreading around this place.
We must get back to the observation room. We must activate the circle again.
Yeah. I mean, I'm helping as much as I can with this. I'm going to give myself a guidance on an athletics check. I remember that I believe I'm supposed to lift with my legs.
Yes, you remember the tuck and roll. Stop, drop, and roll.
Oh my God.
It rolls all the way there.
No way.
There it is.
We didn't need that testicle anyway.
So Elvadine literally stops, drops, and rolls into the flames. Elvadine is gonna hurt you a wee bit. You take 8 fire damage as his flames just kind of burn all over you, and you're trying to pat them out. And this catwalk is like 30 feet along to get to the observation room, just to get inside there. And Elvadine like comes back on fire,
Comes back on fire. I'm gonna toss them all aside and just throw Calium over my shoulder and haul ass.
All right. Ajax, you just straight up running through this fire. You're gonna rage at all. You just going for it.
Is there like there's a door on the other side of the fire that we'd have to
There is a door on the
bust
other side of the fire. It's like 30 feet of fire. It's like a corridor of fire that you're running on.
It's one of these steel doors.
Right. Actually, the door itself is wooden. You'd be able to like put it open and get through it. You think?
I'm in a rage, and just to give myself the extra boost, and we've got Calium over the shoulder, and I'm assuming the door is locked, so I'm gonna try to just
to like bust your way through it, basically.
Yeah.
All right, you will take 4 fire damage. You're going through. Calium, let's roll for you. Okay, Calium's takes 12 fire. I don't know how much he was healed by, so he probably is unconscious again. Yep. Like you bring Calium through the fire, and he just kind of
Death saving throws commence.
stay with me, Calium.
This is going to hurt.
And then Wyrme just bolts after him.
Yeah.
All right.
Vadin will follow right behind, just trying to cover his face.
Yeah, it is just a walk of pain, basically, and shame. Wyrme, you'll take 10 fire damage you get through here. Oh, Vadin, you only take 3. You've already been through the fire once, and a dragon can't be burned.
It's like double jeopardy or something.
Exactly, yeah.
I can't be burned by the same fire twice and take damage.
Exactly. Elvadin goes full Daenerys, just strips naked and just walks through it, and everyone's like, "What?"
Breaker of chains.
Walker of flames. Anyway.
So you guys bust through into this observatory chamber, and as you pull your way through on fire, you see this doctor turn to you with a syringe. The teleportation circle has been like just recently flared up active, that someone has used it. He turns to you with the syringe and says, "No, no!" And begins to rush in towards the group of you. Let's roll some initiative.
All right. Cody, you're not gonna be upset if I use Calium as a weapon, will you?
I'm not upset. I have disadvantage, and I think so do you, sir. With your exhaustion.
I do have disadvantage. Let's see what this other one.
Oh god, it's gonna get any worse.
Can't get too much worse than the 2. All right.
Oh, I wanted it to be a 1 so badly. Secretly.
All right. Let's see. Calium, what's your initiative roll here, my friend?
With disadvantage, it is 16.
Good man.
Unconscious.
Yes. Wyrme, what's your initiative?
Got a 10.
Got a big old 10. Elvadin.
15.
15 for Elvadin. Oh, damn. Okay, let's go. Ajax.
4.
Oh, there it is. It is. This guy got higher than all of y'all, so he actually gets the jump on you guys. He is going to rush in. He sees Ajax just initially just burst into the room, tries to stick you under the syringe. He's going to have a +4 to this attack roll, so that is a 18 versus your armor class, Ajax.
Ajax's armor class is a 16.
Nice. So you are going to take +1, 4 damage. However, you're going to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
All right. Here we go. Constitution saving throw.
I'm just...
Yeah, totally using luck on that one.
Oh, please do. Just imagine Calium and Ajax being knocked out, and Wyrme and Elvadin having to drag the two out.
You just have to do the bag of holding trick, alright? Just holding the head up out of it.
I got an 18 with my lucky lucky con save.
That is just as well as the syringe kind of sinks into you, but it just does like you can't like it goes into your bloodstream, whatever the serum is. And he does have multi-attacks. He's going to take a second attack and try and just jab another one out and try and get it in you. However, on a 6, he is not going to be able to break through your. You probably just grab his hand as the syringe is like you see it desperate in his eyes to try and get you with it.
Okay.
That takes it. This takes these 2 desperate jabs in towards you. To Calium, you can roll me a death saving throw, Calium.
Here we go, guys.
Let's do this thing.
I really don't want to lose this character. That's a 5.
That's a good way to do it. You know, you don't want to lose your character. Start rolling the 5s on the death save. That's my advice. Friendly DM advice.
We're having another production meeting after this.
Oh, they just don't work. Vadin, you're on a 15, yeah?
Yep. All right, I'm gonna extend my staff and launch a firebolt at this asshole.
Let's do it.
Yes. That. 9 damage.
All right. Yep, he takes 9 damage. He's on fire. He's not dead.
Now we all are on fire.
Now we're even. Fight fire with fire. Yeah, he's like burning up as this flames just reave around him. Wyrme, you bust into this room aflame and see what's going on. Some guy's trying to murder Ajax.
Well, I pull out the thunder cannon and let fly.
Let's do it.
So that's a 24.
Ooh, baby.
That pack tactics on kobolds is fucking awesome.
It is.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is good. It is definitely a good thing.
Yeah.
And so someone
Nice.
told me it was only melee attacks, but I went back and looked, and it does not say that.
Doesn't specify, yeah.
It does not. So 17 points of damage.
Very nice, very nice. You rip into this guy with the thunder cannon. Now, here's the thing. Normally when you rip into a guy with a thunder cannon, there is no longer the guy, and there is just the thunder cannon. However, there is only the thunder cannon. However, when you rip into this guy, I mean, you shoot him up, and you're expecting him to no longer be there. His body should not exist anymore. He should be destroyed on every material and physical and whatever planes that there are. However, he still stands there. He bites the shot, but it's as though he doesn't feel the pain as much. It's as though flesh is tearing off from him, and his body is just being rent in twain by this thunder cannon shot. But he just kind of grits his teeth. It's a similar thing, Ajax, you recognize to being a barbarian, but this guy is he's not as strong as you. He's by no means a barbarian. He's most likely high on something or other.
Drugs. Clearly
Med school rage.
Yeah, he's got he's got that.
All of a sudden, this is Warhammer, and he's a barbarian surgeon.
Freaking doctor.
Yeah.
Good. Feel good.
That's right. That is his turn, Wyrme. So Ajax is yours.
All right, so I've got Calium over one shoulder, and with the other, I'm going to pull out my hand axe. He's still got a syringe, though, right?
He has multiple syringes all over
Man, I
him.
really want to stick as many of those syringes in him as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do instead. I'm not even going to bother with the weapon. Is it possible for me to grab the hand that he has with the syringe in it and see if I can't jab his eye or his neck or
that's
something?
not contested strength here.
All right.
It's more like a
Sounds like some
grapple.
grappling, man. Athletics.
Oh!
Oh,
He ain't got.
Strength or
force.
athletics?
hallelujah for
Something
that 4.
Yeah, of course he's doomed by the 4.
Yeah, my modifier's 6.
Live by the 4, die by the 4. For glory. He dies by the 4. Describe to me how this happens, Jim Davis.
I just, all this being messed with and taunted and everything, and this poor bastard is going to get all that frustrated rage and anger that Ajax has. He's going to grab his wrist and just jam the needle as far into his eye until he just can't. He really hits the back of the skull.
Nice. You just kind of jab the syringe into the back of his eye socket and just push the serum in, and his eye just pops out and explodes as this green serum just pours all over the space. The ritual circle is there open before you. You just have to align it, Elvadine.
Okay, I will move over and begin putting in the coordinates, so to speak.
Quickly roll me an Arcana check. The flames are spreading into the observatory. There is some time pressure here.
Oh, sorry, I didn't accidentally double-click that. So I guess the first one would be 10.
Okay, so the flames are beginning to spread quite into the observatory chamber, and you're gonna have to do this quickly, else they're gonna start biting at you and all of your friends, and potentially burning up this room.
Okay, I will take a quick moment to refocus myself, cast guidance, and try it again.
You need some blood?
I'll just take some blood from the doctor he just killed.
Nice, straight out of
so
the
it's gonna- so
straight
it's
out of the
gonna-
eye socket.
So yeah, 20.
Nice. with a vroom, you feel a ritual circle just coming alive as you use this forbidden blood magic to open up the portal. You
It
guys all
sounds
get-
wrong when you put it that way, Will.
I've never heard anything that sounded more right.
Quickly.
It might sound wrong, but it feels so good.
It just feels great.
Feels great. Feels good, man.
Quickly, I must see to Calium's wounds.
That's a thing you should definitely do. Like, immediately.
It's Calium's turn next. Really, so Calium, you should roll
Alright.
save.
Not a 1.
Just don't roll.
Just
one.
not a 1. Just not a 1. I don't even want to click this button right now. Here we
on,
go.
Do it. Come on, Cody.
That's the fun. That's the fun of D&D, guys. How about that?
Oh.
How about that?
I saw it
How
take a
about
one
that?
for a second. I'm like,
I
I looked down and saw Alvadine's 1 and I panicked for just like a half second.
I little bit wanted a 1 to show we're playing real D&D.
Yeah.
yep. It was close. It was close.
We are playing real D&D.
He's still not out of the clear yet.
Please help me.
But hey, the circle just kind of comes to life. The group of you feel that flash of heat, slight moment of pain, and then you are back at Curtis Wine's place. Empty chamber, table, bronze circlets. Curtis Wine is not here. You're clearly below in that familiar chamber.
Okay, I'm immediately going to start scrambling in my pack and pull out one of my healing potions and
All right.
start tilt
Feeding
up his
it,
head,
feeding.
tilt up his head, and start pouring the healing potion down. So
Feel free to give it a roll.
2d4 plus 2, so that's going to be 9. Get back.
If you roll 1 on a healing potion, that kills a person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They choke on it.
Yeah, I took
They,
it.
they choke and
Big
aspirate
round.
and die.
Yeah, you realize that you've been feeding him pumpkin seeds, deadly to Chocobo.
Deadly. Deadly to player characters.
Yep.
Very deadly.
How could I mix them up?
Yes.
I had one job.
It's a potion, but it's a potion of pumpkin seeds. A vile
Should have
pumpkin
heard them clacking around. in
You
it.
just mark them both as P and you mix them up.
It happens.
Nice. You heal Calium, who kind of spurts back.
It is over. We are safe.
I'm kind of angry.
Are you real?
As real as any of us can be.
Did you kill her?
We never saw her.
Didn't see her die, which in cinema terms means she's not dead, but who knows? I mean, there are a lot of people
She was on
burning up.
fire. But someone else used the portal first.
Yeah, I mean the portal looked like it had just been used, correct?
I'm gonna look over at Ajax, and I'm just gonna just start weeping, just start bawling. I'm so sorry. I tried to save him.
Ajax.
I'm sorry, Ajax.
Ajax embraces Calium and doesn't say anything.
Wyrme looks a little sheepish and embarrassed for them. Because we usually, kobolds have children by the hundreds or something. It's like, it's
Big boys don't cry, right?
Kim's over here bawling his eyes out. He's lost his family. Ajax has lost his son, and Worm's like, "Ah, fuck it. It's not that big a deal. I'll have another batch."
Mammal life.
Classic mammals, God. Warm bloods. As you do this, you hear the click-clack of boots on stone, and you look up to see Curtis Wine headed down. He says, Calium, you're alive, I see. Good. Is everyone okay? He kind of looks over your wounds and kind of winces.
Well, we survived.
Okay is relative.
Understood. As long as everyone's okay, Ajax. I spoke with Wyrme after you left on the hill and came to realize something, that I could help. even though I'm not sure how much this will do to cure your scars. But he kind of looks up to the chamber which he's walked down, and you see a figure at the top of the stairs, illuminated from behind. And you see your son, Eddard, walking down the steps towards you. But his eyes are pale. His flesh is almost completely marble white. And you see a part of it just kind of like fall off from his face as he's walking down the staircase. And you see your undead son, Eddard, looking at you with lifeless eyes. And that's where I wrap up tonight's session of Save or Dice.
Well done, Will Jones. Well done.
You heartless bastard.
I care, really. Look.
Masterful, sir. Absolutely masterful.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you for hanging out with us with a very dark and gritty and intense episode tonight. I do want to give a special thank you to Will Jones for putting on one hell of a performance. It is a privilege to play with you guys every week, and for that I am grateful. So, of course, we want to give a big thank you to all of our sponsors. ThinkGeek for helping us put the show on. If you guys are still doing any Christmas shopping, please go consider supporting ThinkGeek. Of course, we have Shapeways, which is your go-to destination for 3D printed dice and minis. All of the maps that you guys see here on Saber Dice are built in Dungeon Painter Studio by Pyromancers. You can find that at pyromancers.com. And, of course, our virtual tabletop of choice is the one and only Fantasy Grounds. So thank you to all of our sponsors for helping us put on this incredible show for you guys. And thank you guys for being a part of the show every week. We really, really appreciate it. If you guys missed part of this episode, you can catch it later on YouTube. We'll put it up on Friday on youtube.com/SaberDice. And if you're watching on YouTube, come hang out with us on Wednesday nights on twitch.tv/SaberDice.
Hey, I think to throw out real quick too, guys. If you head over to Shapeways, they have a lot more than minis and terrain. There's jewelry and all kinds of crazy stuff that they 3D print. So there might be some stuff for your non-nerd and geek friends and family.
Don't have any of those. I disown them all.
Hate them before they get aged.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to check out Encounter Roleplay's Kickstarter, which is going on right now. WebDM just hit 70,000 subscribers, and they're headed down to PAX South. So be sure to follow those guys over on Twitter. I'm Cody with Taking20. We love you. Have a wonderful, wonderful night.